Hi there, welcome to this episode of Hackerrank. This one is called No Idea. I have no idea what it is called, no idea. But if you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel. And if you're returning, welcome back. Let's get this one going. Here I am on my Hackerrank profile. I'm just gonna click on the no idea task. It's of medium difficulty level, but honestly, if you have seen my previous videos, that should be pretty easy for you to solve. I've got a Jupyter notebook on the right side. It will help me to explain the problem. And I've got my Hackerrank on the left side. Here, let me tell you what the task is using the example in Hackerrank. Line number 1, 3 and 2. What are they? Let me just call them N and M. From the user, we will receive two numbers. So that will be, for example, 3 and 2. And you will see that it comes as a string. If you haven't seen my video on strings, the link is up the top right. I will want to split them because I want 3 separate and 2 separate. Let's split them, 3 and 2. You will see that I've got a 3 and I've got a 2, but they are strings. They've got quotation marks around them. All I will need to do is to convert them to an integer. But because there are 2 or more values, I have to use the map functions. Map these strings to an integer. But before that, if you haven't seen my map video in Python, the link is up the top right. And all I need to do right now is to convert this to a list for me to be able to show you. So 3 and space 2, you will see that now I've got a list that is not a string, it's actually numbers. That's what we need. So I will call them N and M. Let's do that again, one final round. If I show you print M, you will see that N is 3 and M is 2. Now you may ask, okay, what is M, what is N? N is the number of values that the user will give us in line number 2, which is 153 here. And M is the number of values in the 2 subsequent sets down here, 3, 1, and 5, and 7. Let's receive them from the user as well. I'll tell you what we are going to do with them. Let's call it my array equals, I will receive this from the user, which will be line 2, 1, 5, and 3. That will be my array. And then set A equals input from the user as well. Set B is also an input from the user. So I will receive 3 lines after the first line. Lines 2, 3, and 4. But just remember, again, the input will come as a string. I have to convert them to numbers. I will pretty much do what I did in the top line. I will take a list of the map of integer function onto the input split. So let me copy that line. And instead of just taking the input, I'll do this, I'll do this, and I'll do this. So now I will have 3 lists or arrays to work with. So let me run that again. This one will be 1, 5, and 3. Next line is 3 and 1, and the next line is 5 and 7. All right. Now you might ask, okay, what are we going to do with these? Good question. The problem is we will be calculating something called happiness based on this task. You may ask how happiness is measured. Okay. If any number in my array, which is 153, exists in set A, which is 3 and 1, then happiness goes up by 1. If any of these numbers exists in set B, 5 and 7, happiness goes down by 1. So we need to understand how many times a number in the array is repeated either in set A or set B. For example, number 1 exists in set A, so happiness goes up by 1. Does number 1 exist in set B? No, it doesn't. So we're done with number 1. How about number 5? Does it exist in set A? No, it doesn't. Does it exist in set B? Yes, it does. Happiness goes down by 1. And lastly, number 3, does it exist in set A? Yes, it does. Happiness goes up by 1. Does it exist in set B? No, it doesn't. So nothing changes. So altogether, happiness goes up by 1. How do I write this code? I need a function that does this calculation for me. Let's start with happiness equals 0, because at first, happiness is 0. Then we will start looking at numbers. The next very important step is that I have to go through every one of those numbers in my array. So for number in my array, if I print number, you will see that I'm going through 1, 5, 3. That's easy. If number in set A, then happiness add 1 to it. Elif num in set B, then happiness take out 1 from it. You will see that for this very example, happiness equals 1, and that's exactly what the task was asking me. So I think I have solved this problem. All I need to do is just to put together a function that does this calculation. Let me do that right here. I will call a function, define it as calculate happiness. What I will receive is n and m. After n and m, I will receive an array. So let's call that my array. Then a set A and a set B. And I believe that's all about it. So let me just move them 1 tab forward because of the indentation. I don't want to print, I want to return happiness score. So now I've got a function. If you haven't seen my video on functions, the link is up the top right. Once I have a function set up, all I need to do is to call the calculate happiness function, feed n, feed m, feed my array, feed set A, and feed set B. And you will see that the calculate happiness score is 1. As I said, I think I have done this one. Let me just quickly copy this and paste it here. And I have everything that I need. I will copy all of that and I will paste it right down here. Let me just make this a bit bigger. And there is one more thing that I need to do, is to actually run this bit once I have defined the function. And I need to copy this one up the top as well. So I got the n and m. And one last thing I need to do is to print the answer and then run the code. Sweet, you can see that it says congratulations. I think it's successful. If you like this video, hit the like button, put your questions in the comments, or if you like it, just let me know that you liked it.